A shower or two developing 20, a few showers for Saturday 18 and a possible shower Sunday 19. Then partly cloudy for Monday and Tuesday with temps staying in the high teens. More news as it happens on 5AA.
Call 5AA now to Talk Adelaide. 8223 0000. This is Peter Godfrey.
Good morning. 13 degrees at the moment. And it is, look at the time, 9 minutes past 5. Where's the morning gone? Let's head to New Zealand and find out what's happening there. Selwyn Manning from livenews.co.nz. G'day, Selwyn.
Yeah, g'day, Peter. Isn't it good to hear your voice again?
It's good to be back. It's good to be back. Oh, goodness me, the trials and tribulations of my life.
Yes.
I should write a book. Yeah. Dave.
I guess your audience is well versed in what's been going on.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Yeah, a very courageous man we have here, that's for sure.
Thank you. And Dave looked after you pretty well?
Dave was great.
Excellent, he's a good bloke. Well, how's your weather going over there? To start with, you're in a winter wonderland by the sound of it, freezing over there.
Yeah, well, overnight in Auckland, we've got a bit of overcast skies, so that's brought things back into the norm a bit more for this time of year, but certainly the other nights of this week, Peter, have been absolutely freezing.
So what are we talking here?
Well, in Auckland, considering it's May, it's not like it's July or early August. It's pretty cold, to feel. But, New Zealand, the whole of the country is in this grip of big freeze, if you like. And Auckland, down to around 2 degrees in the actual city centre area, which is a little bit warmer than in the rural areas. The rural areas around the outer Auckland area were down to 0 degrees, and that was not last night, the night before, and the night before that. So yesterday morning, walking through the park and things with my dog Jacko, he was a bit cold on the feet. It was just white frost everywhere, and just brilliant. But down south, that's nothing. On the television networks, on the Campbell Live program last night, the South Islanders they did a fantastic clip and all the things that Aucklanders can do to keep warm, and they were kind of making a parody of us complaining it was so cold at 0 degrees. I mean, down in the Canterbury area, there were places assisted by the wind chill where it went down to minus 18 degrees Celsius.
You're kidding me. Gee, now that's getting cold.
And they were having a ball down there, hearing that Aucklanders were shivering at 0. That was like going to a tropical paradise for them,
Go on, harden up, you guys in Auckland.
Yeah, exactly. Our teeth chatter at such and such. I remember a friend of mine from Michigan and another one from New England said to me once, 0, a frost? Oh man, that's nothing. They said we were born with antifreeze nowadays over here, and they'd kind of talk about what they get, and you think, oh my gosh,
there we go.
With the pipes in their houses all freezing up, etc., etc. But yes, very cold.
Yeah. Any snow as yet?
There's really good signs of a ski season coming up. That is something to be noted, I think. What we're seeing here early in the winter season, such temperatures where it's really cold. If we get good snow from here on, then the expectation is that the snow will be nice and crisp and dry. A good skiing snow, if you like. Good for snowboarding. So, considering this is the second week in a row we talked about things like tourism to Auckland, Peter, this is a shocker. But there's direct flights from Adelaide to Auckland now, and you can get into Auckland, drive if you like, or a bus, 3 hours going south, and you're in the ski fields in Mount Ruapehu area, the central things, or get down to Queenstown, around there. The ski fields there in midwinter are absolutely fantastic. So time to plan for your audience if they're thinking of a bit of a winter holiday.
Bit cruel talking to me about skiing with my leg as it is at the moment.
Yes. Mind you, if you sat there in the ski huts or something, Peter, with your leg up, they'd think, oh, this guy's a hero. He's been out on the field.
I could make up some stories about it, couldn't I? Absolutely, yeah. Just cold weather? Have you had much rain or anything like that accompanying it?
Not so much, not with this lot, but further down south there's been different patterns, so there is an expectation that snow is going to come through. Down in Dunedin, that's where it hit first. That's right at the bottom of the South Island, and of course it's susceptible to the Southern Ocean kind of storms, and certainly the cold weather patterns coming up from Antarctica now. Dunedin, it's the fourth or fifth biggest city, fifth I think now, biggest city in New Zealand, and it was covered in snow. So all of those ski fields and everything got a really good dusting. I think what the the tourist operators are hoping for is a real dumping of good snow,
Yeah.
and then some more of this cold weather, and it's perfect.
Terrific. Let's get on to politics to warm things up a bit, shall we? Might have been the last time we spoke, or a bit before that, talking about this chap of yours, Kim.com, and his internet party.
Yeah.
Some developments there that, a bit of an arrangement that could shake the Nationals a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. The Nationals will be going through their strategies and counting their numbers for sure. Now, I'll just add the backstory to this. On the back of two polls in the last few weeks, we've seen the Nationals pushing ahead over the 50% support mark. Now, under our MMP system here, there hasn't been a party that has made government since 1996. Since MMP came in, that has been over the 50%. It's always been a coalition of other parties that get them. So when Nationals start to push over the 50% mark in the polls, even those polls that are, they are considered to be more favourable to the right, it still puts the shudders up the centre-left party. The centre-left parties, they've been failing to fire just in recent weeks, ever since New Zealand read its budget. So it was the same week that Australia's Joe Hockey read his budget. We had ours a couple of days later. And since then, the Nationals' support has just solidified, and those who are abandoning it in the months prior seem to have gone back to it. But this week, the Mana Movement, which is a party that is addresses its issues of class, and it is primarily a party that is there to advocate the interest of Māori people in this country, and it has one MP in Parliament, a man called Hone Harawira, and the Kim.com, as you described at the beginning of this little intro there, his internet party announced that they have formed a single party to campaign under one umbrella. Now, remember, our elections are in September, on September 20th, and they've just got time to form this new party, basically, where the two become one for the purpose of this campaign. And today, that announcement was made 2 days ago now. Now, today, the Internet Party will announce a former cabinet minister in the Helen Clark Labour Alliance government. Remember that alliance part of it lasted for about 3 years. Now, a former minister there will be announced as the new leader of the Internet Party and will campaign as number 2 in the Internet Mana Party's list. So a bit complex there, but what's happening is the Mana Party already has a leader and already has a person in Parliament, and that's Hone Harawira. Now, this Internet Party, and joining with it to campaign under one umbrella, is having a cabinet minister, former cabinet minister, as its leader, and comes in at number 2. Now, this kind of arrangement is expected to push the support up significantly for this party. This person's name is Laila Hari, and she is a well-respected politician. Since leaving Parliament in the mid-2000s, she's been absolute, highly respected union leader here. She represented nurses throughout the country in the mid-2000s and managed to secure nurses in this country a superb deal without causing huge upheavals all over the country. And her legacy there lives on. Now, she is very respected, as I've noted here. The pundits around the place, including other politicians that she'd worked with, other politicians that she'd fallen out with on different things, they say she's a woman of principle and really puts an injection of movement into this whole arrangement. So the Nationals, yesterday, when information of Laila Hari being the likely leader to be announced today, they came out and said, she's going to be squashed, she's going to be crushed, she's going to be squeezed between Kim.com and Hone Harawira, two huge egos, and there'll be nowhere for her to go. So they're obviously, by those comments, they're obviously very worried.
They're worried.
Indeed.
So, Shimley, the increase in support likely that you mentioned for them is going to come at the expense of the Nationals.
Well, there's certainly an area there where this is where the strategists are pitching, and this is where it gets clever. With the Internet Party's side, with Kim.com and everything, he has a huge cult following, and particularly with those young professional tech-minded people, they can see, well, this guy actually knows his IT, and what's coming through here is he knows what works and what doesn't, and what the country needs to do to facilitate this whole economy in the IT area. So there's an area there that the strategists believe will be taken off National's potential vote. With Laila Hara there, on the centre left, and even in the centrist areas, they were thinking, who on earth could Kim.com pull in as a leader? The leader will just look like some sort of sycophant, some sort of person that's being told what to do by Kim.com, who's outside of the Parliament apparatus, and some geek who et cetera, et cetera. Then they come along with Laila Hara, and everyone is going, oh my God.
So suddenly adds political legitimacy to the party.
Legitimacy with a capital L. I really said capital W, didn't I? That'd be a funny word.
You spelled different over there.
Must be the cold.
Yeah.
And the whole thing changes. Myself, I've written pieces highly critical of the Internet Party Mana arrangement that was shaping up for all the reasons of it appeared to be incongruous, really, where you had a multi-millionaire like Kim.com joining in with a party that represents the very most poor in this country.
Interesting pairing.
And I pushed that, and that seemed to be pushed around by Mana's leaders at the time too, when they read the piece. And so, there's been high degrees of critique around this kind of thing. Laila Hara changes that. It silences the critique. It silences those issues that I was pushing myself and many other pundits, and it renders them irrelevant.
Okay.
So it's an interesting...
So clever move on their part, by the sound of it.
So the National, it's not all plain sailing now. That 50%, well, they better try and hold on to that, because what is happening here is the erosion of all its support parties. We've got the ACT Party, which has an MP of one, John Banks. He's currently in court facing charges of when he tried to run for a second time as Auckland Mayor, alleged election fraud relating to donations there that he's defending. So, all of these parties, the Māori Party that helps prop up the Nationals, it's struggling to hold on to one seat. So it's not an easy ride for this particular government that is seeking a third term from the public.
Yeah, interesting. And September's going to be here before we know it for your election. It's racing ahead towards us. All right, Selwyn, you there, Selwyn? I think Selwyn's dropped out there. Well, I think we come to the end anyway. Oh, never mind. Selwyn Manning joining us from New Zealand every week. Head to livenews.co.nz to find out more. Read some of the stuff Selwyn's been writing up there. livenews.co.nz. 21 minutes past 5.